Hello everybody, this is That Programming Guy, and remember, you can do the thing no matter what you're doing, no matter what's going on. I believe you guys can get it done. So how is how is everybody doing today? I hope you are all doing well. I'm doing well. I realized for some reason coffee was not. I had coffee this morning. I got up, made breakfast, ate breakfast. I was doing fine. And then I had coffee. And then I got tired. So I think it's coffee for some reason that is making me tired, which is odd. Anyway, how is everybody doing today? Last episode was a lot of talking. A lot of figuring out what to do here, what to do there. I spoke to my friend who's big in Haskell. He mentioned 4M and map M. I'm like, oh, that would help. And then Jabby Jabby mentioned also last episode to just basically make a list of directions and then pass those around. I'm like, oh, I think these are really dirty glasses. Holy shit. And you can hear my dog in the background itching herself. I should probably take off her collar so that doesn't happen again. Lucy girl. Baby. Anyway, what else? So, I'm going to start out with that. I'm actually going to use 4M or mapm to make an IO of list of directions and then pass those around and see if I can get that to work. Because, Haskell really, what I've noticed is it forces you to break down things and then just breaks down your problem into smaller chunks and then basically almost like stitch the... Alright, hold on. Lucy! Hey! You're gonna get a cone. Puppy! Hey! Thought you were done itching. Come here. No, you were itching, you were itching, baby Lucy. Itchy puppies are gonna get a cone. That's what happens. Oh, hello, Vacant Psalms. Psalm. You're not pluralized. You are one. Hello. Thank you for joining me today. So that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm going to basically use. I think I'm still trying to do too much in one method. I'm trying to use an object-oriented procedural method. So I'm going to start out with making an IO of list of directions and passing that around and seeing what happens. So yeah, let's get started, shall we? Let's just... Oopsies, that's not the right one. I need that. I need a stir. There you go. And then we don't need lib because we're not using this. And let's also just go back to main and open that. There you go. Alright, so now we have everything here. I like how I'm still just kind of working in main. Okay, so we have empty cells and directions. And then from here, I'm not going to zip it up yet. I'm going to then, I need to actually replace these directions with the IO thing. So if we go to get directions, I wish this was Visual Studio right now. Get directions returns this otherwise random. Cool, that's what we need. And then from there, I will use... No. There you go. So I need map M. I could also use 4M as well. I see. Yeah, I am. Um, there's somebody I know. He's actually a great guy. He's actually does Haskell a lot. And so I spoke to him. Was like, hey, I'm having problems. And he's like, oh, you don't want to use this. You want to use mapm or 4m. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah. It's like, oh. I wish I knew more about this before. So yes, I am. I hope you're happy. Yeah, so mapm, I could also, if I wanted to, use 4m as well. Yeah, oh, just use mapm then. So basically, I take a function, and this function is going to basically return the same thing. So it's going to take a direction. This function that I'm doing is going to take a direction, return a direction. So it's going to return a direction. And return an I of a direction. And then, so that, and then it's basically going to do a, basically, it's going to return what it gets. And then, if it's random, it's going to get a random direction. And so I would have to use, I need to also not care about what I return. So I'm going to use mapm underscore. And I'm going to get this function. And then directions. Okay, cool. That's what I need, so. Horrible name, I know. But I don't care. Yeah, that is what a traversal is. And I need spell ran, R-A-N, random? Yes. Alright, one second. Turned off the heater. I was like, it might get kind of hot in here. And with the sweater, it's gonna get hot in here. You used to Objective-C, so I will never look down at long descriptive function name. Here's a really interesting tidbit. So I have this viewer, Newman DeMose. If you go on my YouTube videos, you might see him commenting on some of the older ones. He was the one who kind of got me out of my rut on how to update a list by telling me about lenses. So I was talking to him because his example used like F0, F1, stuff like that. And he's like, the function name shouldn't matter since you can look at the types and you know what the function does, which is correct. That's kind of what Haskell is making you want to do, is be like, if you look at the types, you know what's going on. Great. So he's like, I fucking hate it with these long ass names because you have to be so goddamn descriptive. Things like C# and Java, C++, Objective-C is like, they're so long because they have to be so descriptive. So in the Haskell world, you're not supposed to have long names at all. But I don't care because I didn't come from a Haskell world. So we're going to go if random. But I'll probably just use a guard statement, I think is really what I need. Yeah. I'm just going to do that right now. Fuck this shit. Direction equals random. Then return get random direction. If direction equals north, return pure north. If direction direct get random direction needs an index. And then returns a direction. Oh, not get direction. I need make random direction. Where are you? Aha. Get random direction returns an index. Get random direction. And then you need an index and you return an IO of a direction. Lucy, you're not gonna fucking get out of here. I'm sorry. No. Deal with it. You're in here for an hour. You'll be fine. I promise. Sorry, my dog is being a dog. Okay, so I need to return it the index. How the fuck am I going to return the index? Okay. Interesting. Because I need the index. Because I need the index. Because I need to know... Wait, why do I need the index? What the fuck do you do with the index? Oh, I see. You're just seeing if it's a valid move or not. Okay. I don't think we need that. We're just going to return I of a direction. I see. So the problem that I was having is that when we have to apply direction, direction needs to be an IO. So, all right. To answer your question really quickly, when we call replicate number of cells, get direction returns just where the fuck are you? A east, north, or random. And that way, I can have a list of directions. Next, what I want to do is map over them, and I need to convert this random to an IO direction, or just the east to pure east or pure west. So I can use map M to get an IO of directions. Because what I was thinking before, basically, I was thinking of map M as well, but I'm like, well, map M needs a list to go over in the first place. So I need to make a list, because basically the problem that's going on right now is I need to say this cell has a direction, has a neighbor in this direction. Wait a minute. But I then also need to go that second cell has a neighbor in the opposite direction. So if I'm a cell and I have a neighbor to the north, my north neighbor also needs a neighbor to the south. So what I was going to do is I was going to basically get a IO of list of directions and then pass that everywhere. That way I have no idea. Because basically what I've gone before is, I think with these methods right here, with apply direction, buy direction, all this other good stuff, it's doing too much in one. So that's the hard part I'm trying to get around, is basically this direction that has the IO attached to it, because I need to get a random direction. So that's what's going on. So I don't know the best way to do it. And from what Jobby said last week, he's like, hey, try just making a list of an IO of list of directions and passing that around. So I'm going to try that to see if that works. So we'll see. That's what's going on, though. Is there another way to do this? Because I could go apply directions to each one, either north or east. Additionally, I need the randomness. And then I could go through it again And then I could go, if you have a neighbor to the north, and the north is valid, go grab it. I might have to, that's actually a really good idea. Try instead of doing it all at once. That's actually a really good idea. Of course, at the same time, instead, yeah, dice rolls. This is basically what's going on. Instead, I could just apply. Oh, right, no, this is what I was doing before. So what I was doing before was, as you can see on line 67. Yeah, I'm just dealing with a 1 or a 0, so almost like a coin flip. So I did have it where I was going to go make a direction. So directions would be a list of 25 numbers. That would go... Hey, Nightbot, you're doing shit. Then at 67, I'd zip the cells and directions together. And then in here, the maze with the directions, I could apply them. But while I'm passing all of these directions, this is a regular, just a list of directions. And then I zip them up. So another idea is this. Oh. Yeah, I could. That is a good idea to start with. Just being like, all right, if the number, if like the int I get. Well, I see where you're getting at. And if I could just do a, okay, just right now, a basic, like, if the index you're giving me is even, go this way. If it's odd, go this way. The fuck did I just hear? Shut up! Fucking Windows Defender? Jesus Christ. Which is a good idea. That way, then, there is no I/O direction. There is this direction. That is an idea as well. Didn't think about that. Because, yeah, that's the problem, is getting those random directions out. Another idea I just thought of, and this is a great idea, instead of doing the map and basically getting a list of directions, have an IO, have a basically an IO of list of directions, but don't apply. I think that's what it is. I think that's what he means. So instead of returning a new list, basically for like 25, replicate 25. Fuck. Because another idea I had was, pass around an IO of list of directions. But that is an idea that might start out with, just be like, all right, if it's 1, do this. If it's 2, do this. If it's odd, if the index is odd or even. That's actually a good idea. Just to get something, and then we can add the IO later, the randomness later. Because I'm not good at making something random just based on indexes. That's a horrible idea. I could try. I mean, obviously it wouldn't be the most cryptographically correct, but that is a good idea. Huh. Because if I'm passing in the index, I could probably use some kind of hash function, maybe, to get north or east. That's a good idea. Yes, yeah, do as much as in pure and predictable, and then add randomness. I totally get that. Here's the question, though, is would adding the IO drastically change anything? However, the only thing though is once I have no that is an idea, but use random to get IO or and whatever, and then a map m that value to the pure function that makes the map. So basically, instead of an IO list of directions, an IO list of ints, and then apply those ints to be random to get the random direction. Because yeah, just like, oh my god, there's so much stuff here. I've actually spoken about this a lot before in my other previous videos. It's like, just go. You know, if you're learning how to program and you're stuck between X many solutions, just do one and see how it works and just go. Map M takes a function that takes, yeah, you can take a look it up. I'm thinking that's what I do. So if I do that, then I get an IO of list of directions, right? And I want to move the IO around. And so I get it. I totally get this. Oh, like that? I have no idea. Because map M will basically, if I give it like a function like generate random direction, it'll take this function and actually return me an IO of, I believe it's an IO of. Yeah, this returned me an IO of list of directions, which I think is a bit easier to deal with than a list of IO of directions. So I know the problem. The problem is applying the random number, because that gets me the IO, because that changes the global seed. Totally get that. Now I can go to each cell in a maze and update it and say, okay, your direction is this. I can totally do that. That's easy. I've gotten to there. And then that would have, each cell would have a neighbor of north or east or random. And I know, because I'm using the binary algorithm, I actually know which ones are random, but I could also just extract the map from the list if they are random. Then from there, I would then have to say, okay, cool, your direction is now north or east, because then I have to basically change that random direction to north or east. That is another idea, but then once I have north or east, IO north or IO east, the question then becomes, I have to get the bidirectional neighbor. And that's going to be interesting, because I can't really get the bidirectional neighbor from a random until I know what direction they have a neighbor in. Fucking A, man, Haskell. And I think that's where the idea of generate a list of 25 random directions, either 25 of north or east, and then apply those. So basically, every time you get random, just do a bang bang into the list to get something. However, that would then mean that since the directions of each cell have north or east or random, they will eventually have to go into an IO, which means the cell holds an IO direction instead of just a direction. Now, another idea instead is to do this. Here's an idea. To map the function takes a cell and returns an IO of a cell. And then that would update the function to be, okay, return pure north, pure east, or get random direction, and so I'd have an IO of list of cells or an IO of a maze. And then from there, I'd have the bi-directional neighbor. Fuck. Yeah, I just think the best way is to just go with it and see what it is. Because I was actually originally going on a plan with what I was doing, but then I'm like, this is going to put IO fucking everywhere. But I think that might be the best idea right now is to... I think that's what it is, to go as far as possible. But then the other idea is I could go as far as possible and then realize I coded myself into a corner because I coded too far as possible. I don't know. But I think that might be a good idea. I think that might be a good idea. God damn it, Nightbot! Is this actually case sensitive? I don't think Nightbot is case sensitive, is it? Yes, Nightbot is case sensitive. Good for me to know. So I'm going to do that. Basically, hold random off as long as possible. Got it. Empty cells, directions, zip them together, and apply them. Cool. Yes, and I'm thinking if we go to this, I'm thinking an IO of like a list of cell is easier to deal with than a list of IO cell. And so mapm does that. Yes. Right. Then we get to what I said before, was that a cell can't have an Alright, all these are true or not. That's it. That's fine. So now I have empty cells, directions, cells with the direction, maze with direction. And so... yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So now we have maze with directions. Cool. This is getting a lot here. So now if I do take a cell, return an IO of a cell. Now, I think, can I do that? Will that work? I have no idea. Oh shit, this will return a new cell. This is not updating, this is going to return a new cell. So I'd have to make a new cell and then update it in the same call. I wonder. Since I'm not dealing with the row and column right now, I could technically make a constructor. Instead of making a fresh cell, I could do this. that way. That way. I can then use this. Thank you. You have good eyes, if I can type. So the really interesting thing about this is because this is Haskell, right? And I'm totally new to this, even though I've been doing this for over a year already. It still feels like I'm doing the wrong thing. And a lot of people, when they start programming, they're like, oh my god, I'm afraid I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm like, yeah, but the best way to learn is to just go. And to just do it and fucking make mistakes. And I believe I in direction as well. Thank you. So now if I want this, I have to give, I think it has north neighbor. Oh, fuck. How am I going to do this? So you have a cell and return. Generate random direction from cell. So if has north neighbors true, hold on here. I'm gonna go through the delays. I'm gonna take the cell. I'm gonna turn an IL of list of cell. This is when I need to, because if I add the pure to something, that changes it. So I don't want to. So I could instead just say if. What am I doing again? Apply direction. Empty cell, cells with the direction. If we go to apply direction, where are you? Oh, it's all this other wonderful shit. Okay, so I commented all this out because this was way too much stuff, but I totally get it now. Okay, hold on. I get it. Okay, I understand. So what I want to eventually do, is to go take my maze with the direction, apply generate random direction from random, map this function over this. Got it. Great. Sweet. Cool. So now we have cells with directions, which contains either north or east or random. By the way, Vacant Psalms, thank you for staying with me. My viewer count has gone up and down, but you're here with me. Lucy, you can't go out. Because of your cone, you can't. No, dog, no. So, cells are the directions. The direction's either north or east or random. We want to apply that and say if you're north, update to be north. If you are... Oh, wait a minute. Wait a gosh darn minute here. Can I do this? Let's comment that out. Let's comment this out right now. You are help. You're someone I can talk with. So no, you're doing good. You do you. Can I go make... No, I'm going to have I need to map... Fuck. Okay, I need to think. Oh my god, Haskell. Fuck you, Haskell. Know what I want. Not Haskell. Okay, so you take a function from A to B on list of A and list of B. So if you list of cells, a maze. Wonderful. So we have a list of cells, empty cells. Then we have a function that takes a cell and returns a cell. So map might not what I'm looking for. A function takes a cell to a cell, but I also need the direction in it in order to make the new cell. So I don't think no, this isn't gonna work. Fuck. Because I was thinking to use map to make him to apply the directions. Yeah, and that's what I've done on line 64. Line 64, I'm just making fresh cells with no directions. Yes. Yes, that is what generate random direction from random is. Make a function that takes one cell and sets a random direction in. Yes. So I could do generate random direction. Your generate random neighbor would take the cell, returns an IO of a cell, and then the randomness would come in here and oh, hey, look at that, you're right. Well. Huh. Well, that's interesting. You, good sir, are full of wonderful ideas. Alright, so we have a cell, an IO cell, generate NEIGHPOR, we have that. The next thing to do would be to generate the direction. Get direction. Otherwise, yeah, so this would be a direction. Hold on now. So we'd have get direction. We say east, north, or random. This would use map M. So we have this. We have someone takes a cell and returns an IO of cell. I think that would work. If we make this. I have no direction. Pure. And this would do a... What do you mean by making a completely random map? Like... That would be a good idea. I close this back, but there's only one problem with that. Is if I have go back here. Let's say I have a maze like this, right? If I'm right here, oh my god, of course I did that. If I'm right here, right, in the upper left corner, I can only have one neighbor, which is to the east. I can't have a neighbor to the north, because then I would go outside the maze. So I actually have logic in here. Oh, what did I just get? Maze? I got rid of maze.hs. To basically go, if you're in a place where you can only have an east neighbor, have an east neighbor. If you're in a place where you can have a north neighbor, have the north neighbor. Otherwise, random. Oh, I get it. Oh. It's a good idea. That sounds weird. Okay. That's actually a good idea. Basically give everything a random direction. Alright, let's try to go with that. That's actually quite a good idea. Vacant Psalms, you're fucking awesome. So I'm gonna save this right here, just in case I need it. I already have it. What am I doing? I already have get random direction. Get random direction. Doesn't need an IO. I'm just going to do that. So what? Select direction based on a random index. Pure and valid. I see. So he makes a list. So basically get valid moves from index. Oh god, returns a list of directions. I see. So you just pick that. Okay, cool. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go. Can I do that? Can I go... Horrible idea. I don't think that'll work. But I mean... it might. Okay, we're going to comment. This is going to be commented. All of this is going to be commented out. Sweet. And then I'm just going to comment all of this out as well. Ah, thought so. Make fresh maze. Make cell metadata. Wait, what the hell? What line is this? Maze 22? Oh, this is from what I was doing before. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of... We're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna get rid of that. Because we don't need that. Do it again. There we go. Okay, cool. Oh, yes. Nope. I see. I understand. So now we're going to... Oh, okay, I get it. Alright, I'm just going to copy what he does then. That's fine. Yeah, Haskell has case statements. Haskell has case statements and guards and if and else's. They kind of all mostly do the same thing. But yeah, Haskell has cases. Alright, so that works. Hold on. Runs the IO action, gets the result, and binds it to X. Defines XP equivalent to action. I see. Runs, gets the IO action, binds it to X. I understand. Okay, so it's binding. That's cool. So random number then is random, because a random RIO does actually turn, if I'm correct, something. So if I go to stack CI import system.random. One second. Yeah, random a, an IO of A. How about case random of 0, 1 of 0 north and 1 east? Oh, hey, look at that. Yeah, that would work. That, I mean, that would work too. You could do that. So, it's guards. There should be cases in here, I believe. Oh, maybe not. Oh, case expressions. Oh, like this. Okay. So I'd still have to get it. So, la-di-da-di-da. I see. This is what is case X of. I don't think this is going to work. But we'll see. Yeah. Didn't like that. Because I have to get the random... So cases only work with the random number. With the input parameters. So I could generate the random number and then based on that random number return pure north or pure east. So I could do something like this. And then this, then I could do like that. Yeah. So now we have this. Let's make sure we're back to where we should be. That we are. Awesome. So now we have the get randomness. Cool, wonderful. So now we have just a total list of random directions of IO of direction. Or, yeah, no. Okay, so now we have get random directions. So we can replicate that to make a list of IO of directions, which is, and we can apply that to empty cells. And then empty cells would then also be IO. So now, let empty cells, so yes, we have, let so now directions should be the fuck did I call it? Get random direction. Yes, okay. That's fine. Okay, so now I have directions, but here's the thing, now this is a list of IO of directions. So if you do this, basically do this. So yeah, it's a list of IO of directions, which is gonna be really interesting. So now, yeah, we need to take a function that takes a cell, or even better, even fucking better. So replicate just runs get random direction X number of times. So get random direction returns an IO of a direction. And so directions on line 64 is a list of IO of directions. If you wanted to take the IO out and be an IO of list of directions, we would have to use map or for. And so that works if we can only use map if we already have a list to begin with. So I could do this. I have an idea. I could make, yes, exactly. That's actually what I was gonna say. Good person, you. So now I have get direction. So now we want basically this. We want to do, oh god, Q, yeah. Random. So get direction needs an index in the IO of direction. Yes. Get direction. Oh, right. Oh, repeat, yeah. Hold on, yeah. So get direction takes an index, and since I have a direction, yeah, empty cells. I could do that. Hold on. So we have a list of empty cells. We're almost back to where we were before. Index is, I believe, an integer. Yeah, just an int. Okay, so get stuff from index. We have to take a may. Okay, so fine. Start with empty cells. Directions. I guess we could just call this all random, huh? And then we can do the randomness. Let's try that. even better, not the best wording right now. This would have to take an IO of a direction. No, this would take a DIRECTION cell. And then we could do a, it's always going to be random, since we know it is always going to be random. Fuck a duck, man. Generate, We have list of cells, list of directions. That will just have random in it. If we want to use map M, we do need a function that takes something and returns something else. I guess I could do that. And then let's make sure it's correct. Yeah, get random direction, cool. And now directions is an IO. Now here's the thing though, we have a list of IO of directions. And I don't know if that's going to be any harder or easier to work with. I mean, we can try it right now. So we have empty cells and directions. Great. So now we need to basically take that. We could zip them up and then apply them and return an IO of a cell. That, I don't know, let's try it, see what happens. Let's zip them up, and then, all right, now we're getting back to this. This is what I need right here. So we're gonna make this a tad bit simpler. A tad bit simpler. We're gonna make this a tad bit simpler. We're going to return, we're gonna do this. We're gonna return an IO of a cell, so we're gonna return pure. One, two, three, four. North, south, east, west. Yes. So right now, if we did the zipping, we have one cell and we're applying it with one direction. So we're saying you have a neighbor to the north or you have a neighbor to the east. That is correct. And so from there, we then have to deal with the bidirectional neighborness, which is the other thing we have to get rid of is if something has a neighbor to the north, that north neighbor also needs to have a neighbor to the south. So that is correct. What you have there, yes. Oh, yeah. No, you got the. It would have to be cell with an I with the direction to an IO of a cell, or just cell to IO of a cell. That could be another idea too. That's actually a really interesting idea. Let's try that. Also, this has been going on for a bit over an hour, so random name I can't think of. We would need to have the cell that was made, and then we need to apply the direction to it. So we need to turn an IO of a cell. So we need to get. Technically, we actually could just get the random number in here, huh? We could do that. Yeah, I could. Oh my god. If C is greater than lowercase else. Okay, that's what it is. Oh, the equals do? Okay. Yeah, let me do that. Else. If, then, I think else, and then just return what I need to do. Oh, equals do? Oh, you're right. Good catch. Let's take off this. Whoopsies, no. No, fuck. Q. Oh, damn it, I got rid of that again. How do I keep doing that? I really need to stop pressing W. Variable not in scope, random RIO? Can a magic expect type cell with IO with cell with action of IO and expect from do block random number random RIO? Okay, so random number. If oh, I need to you need an argument? What do you mean? Yeah, arguments are here. Oh, oh yes, you're correct. I see, and then I can update it. Oh, right, I don't need to return something new. Um, yeah, I remember. Okay, yes, you're correct. All right, well, I am actually gonna end. No, let's keep going for a little bit. Wife is still with her brother and sister eating food, so. Do I have my phone? I do have my phone, okay. Alright, so if random is pure 0, then we want to update the cell we have and say, alright, it has a north neighbor. So we need to do a... and then I think we then need to purify these. Aha, I was right. Also, return one of that. Nope, that one. Oh. Ambiguous type variable AO arising from the little 0 per constraint. Nope. Oh shit, what? Oh, wait a minute. Fuck. Wrong button. Shit. My fingernails are getting long. Starting to press other keys that I don't mean to press. Okay, it's still going out. Couldn't imagine expect type int with actual type FO integer. What do you want? So, let's just pay attention. This says, ambiguous type variable AO arises from the use of equality. Prevents the constraint equality AO from being solved. Relevant bindings include random number, AO bound to app main 64, yes. Probable fix, use a type annotation to specify what AO should be. Okay. Can match type int with the expected type boolean in the expression that of the do block. I've never messed with TypeScript, pure script before. I'm sorry. Hey, wait. All right, we're good. Sweet. All right, so now we need a list of empty cells. Now we can let yes, I did. I basically had to say 0. I had to specify that 0 in line 65 was an int and not an integer. So now, oopsies. Line 74, cells with directions should be of type IO of a list of cell. Oh, just IO, nothing. Well, we'll have to fix this. But anyway, guys, I will end the stream here today. But before you go, I do want some shameless advertising before I go. Because that programming guy, I am actually running a business. This is actually part of a business. So I would like it if you guys could support my small business. Because if you guys can support my small business and I get bigger and bigger and bigger, then that's more time I can do this. And also more time I can stream myself playing video games, which is also great. So, one, guys, I am selling the shirts. And they are fucking awesome. So if you guys go to www.thatprogrammingigot.com, click on the picture, you can choose one of your awesome shirts, male or female. They can also be black or white. So here's a picture of somebody wearing one of my shirts. They're fucking great. They're $40. They're fantastic. Every shirt you buy supports me, supports That Programming Guy Corporation. Additionally, it's just one way to support. This is excellent Gildan quality cotton, which is great. But if a shirt isn't really what you're going for, I also do offer program coaching in any language, anything programming related, anything from I need help with my college homework to I want to learn how to start programming to let's learn about how to manipulate L3 cache. I don't know. Anything programming related, guys, I offer program coaching. If you would like coaching, it's $60 for an hour. Just send me an email at darren.hona@thatprogrammingguy.com. I can do everything. It's great. Before our first session, if you do want one, before our first session, we'll have a free 30-minute session just for me to get to know you more, for you to get to know me more, because if you don't like me or if you don't understand me, you're not going to learn anything in the first place, and as well for me to figure out exactly what you need help with. So I offer program coaching. That is 2 ways to support me monetary-wise. If you do not want to support me with money, which is totally fine, if you're watching this on Twitch, give me a follow. That helps a lot. If you're watching this on YouTube, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you give me a thumbs down, let me know why, because I want to know why you don't like this video, and give me a subscription on YouTube. Additionally, we do have a Discord, and I will put it in the description below, but I do have a Discord. It'll be fucking great if you guys could join, most just because it's empty in there. Anyway, I will be ending the stream here. Vegan Psalm, thank you so much for your help. You've been a great person to talk with to figure out these ideas. I hope it goes well. We'll see what happens next week. Guys, otherwise catch me tomorrow as I do some serverless stack. It will be great. All right, everyone. I love you. Oh, no. Lurkers who are lurking, thank you so very much for lurking. Watchers who are watching, thank you so very much for watching. Bots who are botting, thank you so very much for botting. I love you all, and I will see you all tomorrow. Cheers.